Hey guys, welcome back to Star Wars Journey. Today I am actually doing some research into the Old Republic, looking at Tython, and so what I want to do is make it continuous and somewhat similar to the best of my ability to the Old Republic map, so that when people see this region, they say, "Oh, this does look like the map on Tython, or at least it's similar to it. You know, it doesn't be exact, but so I found a few images on Google that show the locations of different important areas of Tython. So right here's the Jedi Temple. Let me do this one, so this one's a little bit easier to see. So here's the Jedi Temple that is built after the Jedi come to Tython, and here's Caliph and Calicore Village in the Forge. So they have it directly like north and south. And it looks like, according to this specific map, Tython Ridge is more like actually surrounding a valley more than anything else. It's not necessarily a straight line like how I have it. So what I'm thinking of doing is maybe actually having it be run up this way or something, or maybe have it right here. I don't know. What do you guys think? I'll probably play around with it a little bit, but so I'm going to change it to an actual kind of squarish ridge, and I'll probably come up farther this way. So I think it might work to put it up here. So you have it kind of square off right here, and then you have the mountains go along the shoreline. So I'm actually going to go ahead and get rid of that. And I'm going to grab a pen tool. Make sure I have the right one. Yep. Actually, just do pen tool. No. Stroke should be 40. Okay. Let me check this other shape. There's a 15. Okay. So I'm going to start up here, and I'm going to work my way down, and then I'll adjust these once I'm done. So to match this, I'm going to come down this way, and then let's say this is about the area where this little, there are some, the gnarls. You could say like this area is the gnarls, and then have it kind of come around like that, and let's say it kind of opens up like that, so it kind of leaves a like there's a pathway through. So we'll do that, and I'm actually going to move it further that way. Okay, so we'll grab this. Oh, do that. Grab that. Okay, we'll move both. So the Abyss River is on the southeastern edge of Tythos. So let's say, I'm sorry, not Tythos, the Tythos Ridge. So let's say we put it over here in this area. That'd be kind of cool. And what if the rift actually came around this way? So I'm going to do hold on. Oh, what just happened? F11. I hate when that happens. Okay. You know what? Let's Okay, there we go. Perfect. So we'll do that. That way the rift is like, that looks stupid. We'll just leave it like that. Okay, so the Abyssal is still part of the rift, and the Tythos Ridge is like at the edge of the rift. So I'm going to grab this and this, remove these two. So they are located kind of about right here. That looks pretty good. And then for tape, the forge is located about right here. So we'll do that. I like that. I'm going to bring Caliph in front of the shapes. So I like that. I like continuity. We can go ahead and label Calicori Village. So it looks like according to this map, there is also a Flesh Raider territory. It would also be good. So what I also want to do is, once my computer's built, is do a playthrough of. It'd be fun to do a playthrough of Knights of the Old Republic 1 and 2, and then do a playthrough of the Old Republic. So that way you guys get some gameplay footage. You can be caught up with the story, with the background of everything. And then when we get to the Old Republic, you'll understand the current environment. And then once the game is done and we start gameplay on that, you all will understand how everything is set up. So that I think could be pretty cool. So let's go ahead. We'll grab this, and we're going to place it over here, kind of in this little corner. Move this down. That way, just kind of more room, not so small. That works. Okay, so there's that. Make sure that's in front. Now, I might make the smaller stuff a smaller font size. And kind of place it this side. Category Village. There we go. And kind of scooch it over just a little bit. Scooch it over. Goodness, we'll move it over. Okay, so let's go back to this. So the regions we have. Scroll down. Okay. So we have the Flesh Raider Village Raiders on Tythos Ridge. I don't think we have to include that right now. We have Tythos Ridge, Caliph, Vertape, Abyssal, Calicori Village. Maybe what we do. We don't have to mark it right now. Let's see, Rolling Plains, just north of the Red Desert. Harsh winds created no foliage. Let's see, Red Desert has the chasm. Onalkesh is located, has been indicated by the Cree. Onalkesh is several kilometers east of Old City, and the Old City is ancient and abandoned, and was the Cree established a hybrid gate there, which was, I think, destroyed or decommissioned or something like that. So that's kind of the main areas of Taos that we can cover for right now. Later on, we'll spread everything out and add more content. Let me see, what else? Let's see, now we can probably move to a different region and explore that area. So if we have, let's click this. Let's see, I don't need these areas. Close those. Close that. Okay. So let's see, Tython. I'll go to the legends because the Tython. This is the canon Tython, and it doesn't have much content, but the Tython Legends does. What I would also like to do would be, and this would be really awesome, is create maps for Ashla and Bogan. So Ashla and Bogan, if you're familiar with these two moons, and I explained this a little bit in Devlog 1, but they represented both the light and the dark side. If a Jedi was out of balance, they would go to a specific moon to where they need to rebalance themselves. So let's say, for example, you focus too much on the light side. What they do is they exile you to Bogan to focus more on balancing yourself with dark side until you come back. And then you can come back once you bounce. But so there were in the Jedi lore, there were a few wars that happened, and so a few of those people at the end of the war were exiled to Bogan or Ashla, one of the two, and they would be kept on Bogan to like meditate and um, think about think about their imbalance in force, and they were surrounded by like um, droids and that kind of stuff. So it would be kind of cool to have this map where maybe it's completely abandoned, but you have to uncover the secrets of Bogan, and you have to fight through battle droids and stuff. That could be kind of cool. Okay, so let's go to. Let me see. Which we want to tackle one of these three main continents after Taos. So Marrakesh, the Jedi Temple of Healing, was located in Tython's deep ocean. The island continent of Masara was covered by forests and verdant plains in Bodhi, or Bodhi. The Jedi Temple of the Arts was situated near the edge of the forest on Masara's southern coast, while the continent was bordered by the Therian Ocean on its northern coast. The continent of Thur lay 800 miles to the north across the Therian Ocean, and Thur featured rocky plains and the stark forests. Forests with trees that sucked moisture from the air and stored it as water in large sacks on their branches. Thur was also the home to the Silent Desert, a desert with the unique property that all sound was soaked up by an unknown quality in the desert sands. The Silent Desert also featured intense winds and a number of sand sculptures that were believed to be sentient. The Temple of Four Skills, King Kesh, was located in an enormous cavern beneath the Silent Desert. So we'll do, we can do Marrakesh. That'll be an easy one. Copy. Oh, too far. And what would be interesting is if you had to travel to Playlon to get to Marrakesh. So what if we put it like out over in this area? So there's that. Body, the island continent. Body was situated near the edge forest on the Sars southern coast. So if we place it about right here, or just call it body. Let's go to the actual page. Is it body cache or just body? It's funny to see like these little these images that people have come up with. I think these are derived from the comics or just folklore that people come up with. So there is a Dawn of the Jedi comic book series that has been available for a few years now, and it talks about like the Jedi temples. So I don't know if the designs of them are derived from those comics or if it's from something else. So like they make appearances in Dawn of the Jedi Into the Void. It's a comic book series. First pictured. So this might be what it looks like in Dawn of the Jedi Zero. I'm actually considering buying some of these. They're actually pretty cheap, like $3.50 or something like that. It'd be pretty cool to read. Dark Horse Comics. All right, let's go back to this. So if we can learn more about body, we can learn more about the SAR itself, because there isn't too much information on it. So it has plains near to temperate forests in the southern coast on the continent of Nasara. Philosophers call themselves members of the Jedi Order, buried with Thoyor and erected a low-lying temple on its face. Consisting of 4 identical buildings made of tan stone and red roofs, the structure surrounded an open courtyard with a large circular pool of water at the center of the temple, focused on teaching its students, young and old, to understand the manifestations of the Force through the arts. Serve as a steward of the facility. So many of the Qua, it should be Qui, not Qua. So for those of you not familiar with the Qua or the Qui, so Qui is a species that developed interstellar travel technology called an infinity gate, similar to Gree's hypergate. The Qua, however, are a degenerated or de-evolutionized descendant of the Qui. So they're more primitive, they're a lot more mundane in their intellect. They're not as intelligent, but they still do have some sort of intelligence. I don't want to say they're completely stupid, but they're more. What's the term I'm looking for? They are more focused on. Um, like think of it like humans compared to apes. I'm not saying we came from apes or apes came from us, but like apes are more primitive in their manners, even though they do have some intelligence. They're not like they're not as intelligent as humans. So that's interesting. So the Jedi collected many Qui, Gree, and Rakatan artifacts across Tython and stored them from the Thoyor body, which was buried beneath. That should be okay. So Thoyor was buried beneath it. Okay. Instructed students in the ways of writing, calligraphy, dancing, drawing, sculpture, cooking, music, and theater. Interesting. So there's really not much more about Masara from what I can gather. Let's go back to Masara. Let's see, there's two sentences on it. One sentence. It says 800 kilometers across Therian Ocean to Thur. From Masara's northwest coast. Can you tell I've done my research? Like, I knew it was like somewhere over here. That's how it needed to face. I think we can move on for now. So it looks like we're going to have to create the rest of the lore ourselves. What could be interesting is that the what if you're supposed to go to Bodhi to find specific artifacts that have been collected by the Jedi, but some of the facts are missing or stolen, and so you have to find out where they went and get them back. Like, what if there's a Jedi Force Ghost that's like, hey, I need my lost slipper. Like, can you go get this for me? It was very special. My father um, said it belonged to a Rakatan warlord, but it's really dear to my heart. He'll get this for me, and my Force Ghost will be at peace. Like, that sounds really stupid, but it could be more interesting than it sounds right now. This is very spur of the moment. Okay, so moving on to third. Third. I should have that joke in the game. That'd be awesome. Okay, let's zoom a little bit back out. Go to third. Continent of third. And third featured rocky plains and stark forests. The trees that suck moisture. There was also the home to the silent desert with the unique property that all sound was soaked up by an unknown quality in desert sands. Let's see. Okay, so what would make sense is to have like it would make sense to have forests separated by mountains. I'm sorry, have forests and the desert separated by mountains in between. Because, or what if the forests are actually sucking up all the moisture from the silent desert? So the trees absorb all the moisture, and the silent desert doesn't get any. Let me see if I can find any more information on third. Silent desert. Okay, so a vast wasteland of sand possessed of a mystifying quality to absorb all sounds. Okay, caves, canyons, and mesas which split the region were the only sanctuaries of sound in the vast wastes of silence. That could be really interesting to design. Stark forests. Okay. So, like pendulums. Useful travelers who were passing through the area. Hmm. So I know this is the ice cap. So what if this area is the Stark forests, and then mountains like form this barrier that don't allow the cold air and moisture to pass, so it creates a desert. Could be something like that. So we're gonna grab this and this, and go up here and paste. So it's gonna be somewhere out here in the silent desert. This is called what? Let's go back. What's the name of this temple? Silent desert. Description. It has a Kinon cache. Okay. Came up. So this will be the silent desert. Oh, I need to go out and separate the stuff from the Talos group. And then over here we'll have the Stark forests. Let's also go ahead and remove this little dot for the red desert. I don't think it's necessary. Because we don't have it for the chasm. You know what I mean? It's like a line, right? Silent desert. And then let's do that. We'll also come over here and put Stark. I don't need to put forest. Okay. So I'll do that. And then, so we'll have mountains. Let's separate this. I think what would be cool to have is some sort of for this would be I think there actually does need to be a settlement of people up in this area. I think there's a settlement of I think like some farmers, villagers, like they don't answer to anyone, but they talk about an old hermit who lives in the hills here. That could be interesting. Okay, let me separate these out. So, do this. Let me do another group. Asara. And another group. Third. Third, yes. Third. Third, yeah, third. There we go. So we're going to move Monkesh to third. Strong Forest, Silent Desert. Go to third. Ahi going up to Masara. Let's find these ellipses. That one goes into third. This one goes to Masara. Okay. So that should be Maharakesh. Let's do, oh, hold on. I'll do that. Call this one Deep Ocean. This has Maharakesh. And should be that ellipse. Okay, yeah. Move that into that. Okay. Let me see, I can also move location names, Deep Ocean, into Deep Ocean group, third, into that, Masara, into Masara. Now we'll do Tythos Ridge. So it's that one. Tythos Ridge. Turn it to a smart object. Okay. And then location names. Tythos Ridge. Okay. Let's do copy one of these. This needs to go on the Tythos Ridge somewhere. So the next one we need to do, let's check our map here. So we've done Akarkesh, Onalkesh, Bodhi, Mahara, Caliph, Klingon Cache, and Vertate. So what we have left is the Padawan Cache and Stop Cache. Okay, so let's go to our Cato's car. I believe it has both of these. Let's go to locations. Firelands for its tumultuous terrain and significant amount of volcanic activity that was common in the continent's heartlands. It says it's 3,200 kilometers south of the northern coast. That's where the volcanic activity is, I guess, or the continent's heartlands. Let's see here. So it says, like, we may not go by the book on this one because obviously I'm not going to have the capabilities within Unreal Engine 4 to create a 3,200 kilometer continent. That's just ridiculous. Let's see. So, Firelands, continent's heartlands. So if the continent's heartlands are this, that's where the volcanoes are. The ice giant range and that range, that was the site of the temple of martial artist Stavkesh, located almost 500 kilometers inland from the northern coast, and the strafe plains lay between the ice giants and the coast. Were a cold, windswept scrubland that was prone to frequent forest storms and scattered with magma-filled swallow holes and columns of razor-sharp silica. Cato's eastern ranges were covered by fungi forests, then swamps, and then sand dunes the farther one got to the continent's southern eastern coast. And the port city of Bay Landing was located on Cato's coastline as the sea known as the Moon Channel. So we're going to have that right there. So Marrakesh, let's say Marrakesh is up here. So if we're doing this as geography would allow us to, let's imagine that these that the mountains that block the silent desert from receiving moisture from, let's say, cold front from the north. Let's say there's actually a line of mountains that the currents actually create this cold front area. So the strafe plains yeah, so the strafe plains are going to be like right here. I mean, technically we can, it doesn't have to be right there. We can move it further down if we want. We can put it maybe smack dab in the middle. And kind of this area, Stavkesh. So we're going to have the ice giant range, a mountain range that was the site So what if it's like something like that? Then you maybe, I don't know. Let's see, let me grab, Kim's car. Okay, so we're going to zoom back in here. Oh, too far. Okay, so this is the high start range. So let's get back. I really need to sneeze. It's not good. Let's take it over here. Okay, and then this will be called the strafe plates. Right. Yep. Okay. Okay, let's go down. Band landing. Excuse me for the allergies all of a sudden. Let's say band landing is about right here. It's like protected. So we're gonna make this that yellow color band landing. Oh, whoa. I can't see. There we go. Apologies for the crazy zoom effects. It won't be as bad once my computer's built. Try to be gentle. Okay. Zoom in here. And paste. Okay, do that. Let's scooch this down. Cool. Awesome. Okay, band landing. Now, where is Padawan? Padawan Cache. Excuse me, sorry for that. Padawan Cache. Where is that at? Maybe search for it. That'd be easier. Padawan Cache. Okay, so one of the 9 temples the Jedi Order located on the Verdant world Tython large stone structure. A temple at Padawan Cache served as the Order's academy, but had not yet reached the age to become a Padawan. It doesn't say where it is. So, like, beginning of the story, like Padawan Kesh is where I'd want someone to start their journey. Like they land on Tython, and this is where they begin. Let me try to find a location. It says that'd be awesome to include. I'm going to copy this. That's a great quote. Like this. Copy. And paste with that formatting. Perfect. Ah. Okay. I guess I need to really read Dawn of the Jedi because I feel like I can get a lot of information. And what would be awesome is in this game to include allow people to travel by foot or by animal or by machine. So like that's something I would want to do is allow them to find some sort of mount that they could go across Tython on, or allow them access to speeder because this is going to be a huge game, and that's going to be to take a long time to travel across it on foot. Periodically, what I used to do on KOTOR was just use 4-speed ability, just run everywhere really quickly. That was the best thing to do. Um, but like that would get kind of annoying, just having the 4-speed across, an entire map that's as large as this. So it would make sense to create some sort of mount, or allow some sort of access to a speeder that could traverse both land and possibly sea at the same time. That would be awesome. But anyway, I need to find the location of Padawan-Kesh. Like, what if I just started it in like play long? Like I just determined where it was. Oh, located some distance from Bodhi on the same continent. Awesome. Okay, so it's going to be on Masara. Sweet. So let's go to Masara. And oh, there's two of them. What? Okay, so what if like this is over here and Bodhi is like over here, or maybe over here. Padawan Kesh. Awesome. So we now have um, our main Jedi temples. We have some main regions created. We have a third created, Cato Zakar, Masara. Very cool. Okay. Awesome. Um, Let me see. What else could I do? I think that's all for now. I think we'll wrap up this video with that. So we've finished out the Tythos Ridge, and we've added the locations of all of the Jedi temples. We've added some third locations. We've added Cato Zakar locations. So I think it's a good stopping point. I think next time what we'll move into is what I might do is start researching some actual like uh, more history. So there's a section of Tython history called the Force Wars, and this is actually where the the users of the Force who thought one should be aligned more with the light side of the Force rather than the dark side. And so the Force Wars began, and at the end of the Force Wars is where one of the exiles went to Bogan. Um, so I think it'd be good to explore the Force Wars and see what went on and see what locations we can gather from that and begin to piece them together within our continents. So with that, appreciate you guys joining me on this development log so far. This is the third log, and I think this is giving us some pretty good ideas to what we could do. Excuse me. Um, so I'm pretty excited. This is actually pretty relaxing and enjoyable. I like doing this kind of stuff and just getting creative and creating our own story that is continuous with Star Wars Legends. So appreciate it. If you like these videos, please let me know. Let me know what you like. Let me know what you don't like. It's actually really helpful, so I know how to make the videos better in the future. But appreciate it. Please subscribe if you want to check out more of my videos, and you can be notified when they arrive. And you guys have a great day.